Hi there, welcome back. In the previous tutorial, we made a model for our MVC lecture demo. Now in this tutorial, we will complete that tutorial by making controllers and views for our small demo project. So this was the database context, the lecture context. So first of all, open your web config file here, right here. And in the here we will change the connection strings for our database. Look here, there is a connection string named default connection. So what I will do, I will copy that, Control C, and paste it. Now I will give it the name as the same as my context, that is lecture context, and I will rename my database name, so give it the name as our application. So give it name lecture MVC, LCT lecture MVC. Hit save. Now close it and come back to our controllers. And here are the controllers that by default provided by Visual Studio. We will create a new controller for our project. So add controller, and here we will select that the read write actions and add, and keep the name of the controller as lecture controller, and then add. Now Visual Studio is performing scaffolding here, and what it did is that it made automatically these methods for our controller. These are the basic, these methods can perform the basic CRUD operation, that delete, insert, or update, edit, all this kind of thing. So now what we have to do is to just add logics in these methods. So first of all, make an object of our context so that we can fetch data from our database. So private lecture context, control that, and yes, lecture MVC.models, and give it the name lecture db equal to new lecture context. Now save it and build a solution. Now once again, back to our convention type of thing. As a convention, this index method will look for a view name index under our views folder, under the lecture folder, but right now there is no views name index in the lecture folder, means it's completely blank. So let's add a view there. So inside the index method, right click and then select add view. So it will automatically give the view name as same as the method name index. Now the template, I'm planning to show the list of the lectures on the index page. So select list, model class, it will be our lecture, and data context will be our lecture context right here that we saved in our config file, and then hit add. So this is our view for our index method of lecture controller. If we will run this page, Right now it will show nothing, because in our controller right here, see, this there is no logic in this method. So let us add some logic here. So come here and write variable lecture, our data context, that's ldb dot lectures dot to to list, and then lecture. Now hit save, and come here in the share folder in the layout here. What we will do, we will add a link to our page. So control copy it and paste it. So this will be the name shown there, link name. So lectures, and this is the action method. There's the controller action method. That will be our index, and this is the controller name, and our controller name is lecture. Control S, and now come here, build a solution. And now go to debug, and here click start without debugging. Now this is the index page. Here the subject, the lecturer name, and the lecture date. Right now in our database there is no value, so it's blank. And here's the link for creating a new lecture. So now you remember we haven't added logic for our create method. So and even we don't have a view for the creating the lectures. So if we click on the create new, it will give us error. So because there's no view, and it looks for the view in our lecture folder in under the views folder, and also it looks in the shared folder under the views folder. So let us create a view for our create method. And before creating the view, I think we should complete the adding the all the logics in these methods. So let us add first add the logics in our controller. Notice here we have two methods for the create operation. One is the get and one is the post. So the HTTP get attribute, and another is the with the HTTP post attribute. HTTP get create is for displaying blank create form, and HTTP post is for posting the filled data from the create form to the to our server. So let's follow our create logic here. So here select this and write lecture and lecture. Now in the try method we will surround this with the if statement, control K S, surround with here select if method, and if model state is valid, then do this, that it will LDC, our data context, lecture context dot lectures dot add this lecture, and then LDB at save changes, because if you don't do the save changes, our database will not update. And if model state is not valid, return the view with lecture. Control save. Now come, let us fill this detail method. Here, come here, lecture, LDP that lectures, that find lectures by this ID, and if lecture is if lecture is null, then return that page not found. Oh, HTTP not found, HTTP not found, and return our lecture. So similarly, come here in our edit action method and fill this in. So for this, the same as the details, lecture, see, lecture LDC, sorry, LDB dot lectures dot find by ID. Now here I'm taking the shortcut and that lecture. Control S. Now in the HTTP post method, come here and edit this. Say lecture. Once again, that LDB, that's our data context, dot entry for lecture dot state is equal to system dot entity state that if modified, and then save it, same as save changes, and then return that index, that's right. Otherwise return view with that lecture. Hit save. Now finally our delete methods right here. For the delete, same thing here, is that lectures LDB dot lectures dot find the lecture by this ID and then show it. Well, these are just for the shortcuts. And in the delete method, make a lecture, new lecture, and after that okay, yes. And if reason, if model state is valid, then come here and lecture is equal to ldb dot lectures defined by the id, and if lecture is equal to null, same thing, return http not found, or otherwise we have to delete this. So ldb dot lectures dot remove this lecture, and then save the changes in the database. Save changes. If a model says is not valid, then return the view with the lecture. So that was all our adding the logic in our controller. Now let us add the views. So we have already added the index. Now come here in the details and right click on it, click add view. It will give the name details. Select the templates. We will you show the details, and the model plus is our lecture. So hit add. So this is our details view, and so now let us add the rest of our views. So index, details, now the create, add view, create, and that's the template for the create or lecture. Hit add, and after the create, let us add the edit view, add view, edit. The template will be edit, the model with the lecture, hit add, and in the last let us add our delete view finally. So delete, select delete and the lecture and hit add. Now build the solution. And now again go to debug and start without debugging. Write the subject as maths. Yeah, okay. Lecture name is Mr. Ram, and lecture date is 05/2015, and hit create. See, it adds the subject maths, lecture name Ram, and lecture date here. And if we will go to the details page, it will show the details here, and we can also edit this. So instead of lecture name Ram, give it the name Ram Singh and save it, and see here the lecture name has been changed. Now we can just delete it, just so delete, and it will ask for the confirmation. Hit delete, and here it's deleted. So that was our basic demo lecture MVC application, and so in the further videos of this series we will look on the other features and in the details about this feature, all those features. So For now, thanks for watching. Have a good day.